Welcome to SIM USA. Today I'd like to share with you a personal story of a couple that has surrendered their lives to God's purpose. They have chosen to utilize their giftings, to utilize their time, so that they could be representatives, relationship managers, individuals that see relationship as ministry. And now is an opportunity for you to listen so that perhaps you may have the opportunity to join them.
Well, I'm coming more from an African tradition. I had the joy of growing up in Africa and then came to the States for high school, university, and a little bit later I went back to Africa, came back to the States for graduate school, took a year's leave of absence for graduate school. And there was this beautiful girl, also had taken a leave of absence from her work to study in mission and to further prepare ourselves for the Lord's work. And we met day one, and it's been a thrilling ride since then.
What happened for me is I was working as a counselor with families that had children with developmental disabilities. And as I was growing in my walk with the Lord, I just hungered to get to know Him better. So when I took a leave of absence to go to graduate school, for me it was simply to get to know God better. I wasn't thinking missions. And when I saw Joe, day one, I remember seeing him in line, and I turned around quickly and I said, Lord, send him home. We got married, moved, went through SIM orientation right after our wedding, and went to Nigeria. So for 21 years we lived together in Africa, and then came back to the States 5 years ago to continue our work with SIM, but from a stateside vantage point.
What I've enjoyed about this is getting to know these new people and knowing them not just as the donor, but as who they are. And I think there was a certain freedom that they had with us, maybe because we're not in the area, we're coming in from outside, we're coming from a trustworthy organization. They knew we loved the Lord. And so there seemed to be a genuine freedom to share their lives with us, and not only the high points, but the low points, the difficulties, the challenges they were facing maybe as a family. And this gave Ken and I just beautiful opportunities to encourage them in their walk and to give them counsel in certain areas. And so I'd say a lot of the role is almost a pastoral role. God has just blessed so many here in the United States with so much. I mean, it's just, and a little goes so far in Sudan or Ethiopia or other places around the world. And man, how wonderful it is to be able to see those resources just so greatly expanding the gospel message to so many thousands, and to see churches being planted. And I mean, it's an encouraging work, really.
We just had a great visit with some people, and we were sitting around at lunch, and the couple said, well, we want to go and see firsthand what God's doing. And so they said, let's go. And within a very short time, Joe and this couple were off to Africa to see some of the projects. Well, down the road then, their lives were totally impacted, but down the road, some of their friends in Jacksonville, Florida really wanted to go, and their son, who has not had a real interest in the Lord, really had an interest in helping AIDS orphans. And so they decided to spend a Christmas over in Africa helping AIDS orphans. And through that trip, that son's heart was just softened, and the parents are just so encouraged. They've been involved in missions and giving and everything for years, but to be able to be alongside them, not just for the resources, but to what is going to help them for their family, for their own individual needs. I think what I see over and over again is we step into their lives and we get to know the neatest people doing what we're doing. I just find over and over again that as we pray before each meeting, God just knows whose hearts He's preparing. And He puts us alongside those prepared hearts. Then, as He's softened their heart, I feel like we just have a part in just coming alongside and sharing with them what we see God doing and what encourage them if they really have an interest, whether it's going or supporting or praying or whatever it is, to just fan those flames in whatever way we can, because there are so many people that want to be involved, but the laborers are few to get alongside them. Those people that are just somewhat interested, if they could just take that next step, I think they will be deeply, deeply blessed.